Hi guys, this is the branch vlog for 0.2.0.6, the second time I'm recording it, because I want to fix something before I didn't want to do it wrong, I didn't want to do it a disservice. So usual, as normal, start from the top, work my way down. I like to put the bugs at the top when I remember. So this one, health, does not reset on death. Yep, just to come back, it pops you back to main menu, and then you press play, and then health was still 0. So very simple. I had to change the value to just go back to 100 on the death reset. I won't show you because it's nothing that impressive. But onto the main thing here. So originally the upper dorms, left and right, and lower dorms were all going to have their own communal bathroom. Individual. So like the uppers have one and the lower has one separate. Now it's just one main one, just for I don't want to create confusion when people playing the game, trying to figure out which of the three or which of the two bathrooms need to go in. So this is, I'll go through the whole process, but this is the main thing. It is located here in the hallway. So there, so that's Sarah's bedroom. Then that's that should be a B. Why is it an R? Oh my god. Right, I'll fix that. But yeah, so I'll play through it and you'll see everything soon enough. But yeah, I've made the room. It's here. Similar sort of thing. So there's player start, there's the door blueprint. It transitions through to that opposite side. I will just show you what's happening first, and then I will play it, and then I'll explain the item stuff and the other stuff. So this is the bathroom. Usual sort of process where it just looks like the same as the others. The main difference is being, except from there being multiple and communal, you can turn the light off, and if you go into the stall, the light turns on. I was just testing then to see whether it was the enemy, if it cared if it was the enemy or not. If you go into it with the light on, no difference. And what you're seeing there was, apologies if you couldn't hear me properly because David was doing a bit of a rave. I have a prototype, very much a version 1, of almost like a privacy wall that in version 2 in version 2 onwards will be frosted glass. In terms of version 1, it is very much just like a high alpha to low alpha sort of, like visible to not visible sort of process. When the enemies go into it, it changes colour to when I'd go in it. I will go into the blueprint in a moment. I'll just explain the other bits first of all. That again is nothing special. It is just a random glass thingy. I thought glass material. I thought it looked cool. I put it at a slight angle because while you can see it like this in perspective, easy peasy, can't you can't actually see it straight on orthographic. You'll also see like the glass behaves differently. If I can get around it, see it doesn't behave quite as you'd expect on orthographic, so I need to look at it. That's handy. I didn't think of that. But yeah, on perspective it works as you'd expect. Again, we've gone to the light system. You see when I go near it, it goes red. He goes near it, goes blue. Okay, so let's go actually into the blueprint. Very simple one. I have a sprite which is just nothing. It's just like a 70%, 75% alpha, just random texture that turns to a sprite. The collision is this. So imagine you're walking through it like that, and then you're in the collision, then you're out the collision. If you're in the collision, that's when the colour starts triggering. So let's go through it. So we have the initialized status. So it's empty. If it's empty, then if it's not, wrong way. Oh my god. Sorry. This is not good quality. If it's empty, then it's empty. If it's not empty, then it's occupied. Then we go to the empty function and we set it to no color, and yeah, we just hide it. Some reason, like, the material's not quite right. I'm using anything below like 0.7 or 0, I think 0.5. It doesn't render it regardless of the color. But that's beside the point. Proof of concept version 1, it works. So I'm happy with it. So sets it to no color. Looks at the light switch. This. Is the light switch on? Yes. Okay, do nothing. And that's why when the light was on and we went out the room, the room was empty, but the light was still on and it didn't toggle the light. That's because the master light switch is on. Essentially, like if you're turning on the light in a full room, you don't then want it to be overridden by the fact you're going in and out of a sensor when you've already turned on almost the master switch. So yeah, if the master switch is on, then do not do anything. If it's off, then that's when all the lights were off, and you saw I could go into it, light went on, out of it, light went off. That's when it triggers the individual light, because a light switch has all these lights, but this light is also separate, as a separate variable, instance editable variable for these individual stalls. So that's empty and initialized. Now let's go to, I hate it when it puts lots of extra tiles in the wrong place. Let's go to occupied. Okay, so when you overlap it, if it's you, then the protagonist variable is you. It is no longer empty and it is occupied. If the overlapping actor is you, true, red, and protagonist is the protagonist. Don't really need that right now. I might knock it off. I like to do booleans just in case I need to have like true, falses, yes, nos, for interrelated things, as you can see with the light switch and the lights for this. So yeah, if it's to turn it red, turn the light on, the individual light, then initialize the lights, which is, again, if it's on, then visibility true, false. Okay, so let's go back one step. If it's not you, so if it's not you, so in other words the cast fails because it can't cast to you because you are not in it, you are not in that range, then it's still not empty, it's still occupied, but it's not you. So is it you? False. Turn it blue, it's not you, and then again turn lights on or off. And yeah, when you're out, it's just, but nothing's there, it's empty. So that's why you see it goes blue when the enemy goes in it, and red when I go in it. So we'll play it one more time just so you can see it. That's because I've messed about with that branch. Right. So I'll need to initialize it, I think. So let me do that and then you'll see it. So red, blue. Really, I should do purple if it's both, shouldn't I? The reason why I've done this is a couple of things. Obviously, it's realistic. If someone's in there, you want like a privacy thing. Version 2 will be frosted glass, so you'll see movement. It's sensible. Another reason would be if you come into that room and these lights are all turned off, but in the far stall the light's on, and they're in like the proper version of the game, the AI sensor isn't going to sense you coming into the door unless you're making loads of noise, and it's a type of enemy that can hear, and so it's going to be pitch black. But then one random stall is going to be lit, and you know for a fact it's not you, but you know for a fact it's not like a random pickup that's triggering this collision. You know it's an enemy or it's an NPC, so it just builds a bit of tension there. Obviously it won't be like an on and off either. It'll be I'll come up with something a bit slick for the version 2 and 3 and 4. So that's that. Should I have a risk and try and figure out? You know what we'll do? I bet that'll fix that problem where it was showing it even though it was empty. Ah, I didn't fix it. Interesting. Alright, let's see. So if it's on, light switch is on, then do nothing. Initialize lights. I still need it to hide itself, don't I? So if empty is true, then empty. So does that mean because the lights are on, it's not doing it? Let's try that. If this doesn't work, I'll fix it another time. But sometimes I can fix it on the fly. I'll sort it another time. Often I can just wing it. It'll be some crossed wire thing out of order I'm messing up, and I don't want to spend too much time trying to do it. So this is the communal bathroom. The version 1 logic. I created a new floor. It's nothing special. It's the same texture. It's just wider. Yeah, nothing amazing. New door. As you know, it's CR when it should be CB. It has been one of those days. We've got tweaked the pivot point of the map. Yeah, in a previous branch, I said I wanted to get all the pivot points set, zeroed. A lot of the pivot points kind of start center like that, and you need to drag it up. So I've just done bottom center, and it just meant that I needed to, once I did that, anywhere I used the mop, everything will have been downwards. So I needed to push it up a bit, just to balance it out. Going forward, I will center all of them, so they will be not. Well, I say center them. I will align them to the floor, so like the feet will automatically just click to the floor. And that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Align to the floor, and so will all the items. Like see that one's center, and that one's at the bottom. You can do it on the fly by holding the middle mouse and pulling it up, but that's on the fly. That's that instance. I want to do it on all the individual assets. So you see, this is a fair bit of work because obviously you want that one to be at the center, bottom center, so you can put it on a desk. So that's just the initial play around. A bit of side work, so I just use it for this. And the frosted glass version 1, which you've already seen. Weird. I'll be able to fix it. But yeah, this is the communal bathroom. I'll jump out of it again just to show you it. I don't think they'll move yet because I'm working on it. But yeah, there you go. Yep, that's it. Nothing special. Quick one. You know me with version 1s. It's functional, but it's not. It's missing some polish. The only thing I didn't mention is because it's instance editable, I need to select which light. So this light this stall selects, oh my god, right, this one selects blueprint 4, which is this one, blueprint 4. For the light and the light switch, well, there's only one. And that's how it triggers only one light, and that's how it has interaction with these other blueprints. If I didn't do this, you could probably still do it, but yeah, using the collision to control the character, myself and the enemy to go in and out is one way of doing like triggering control of it, like feeding in a blueprint, so a blueprint variable, so like that. So that's one way of doing it. Another way is, certainly if it's static, you can just do expose on spawn and instance editable. So expose on spawn exposes it right here, so you can see it. Instance editable means each one of these has their own thing. So as you can see, 3, 5, 4. If it wasn't instance editable, you'd still see it, but I believe each would share the exact same thing and each would overwrite one another, or you get an error. So that's that. Going off a bit off topic. Next, normal maps, really big one. I know I've got like a day until 1st of July, so I will start tomorrow. I'll have a rest for today. Busy, busy, busy. Every single thing of these has a normal map. Let's go to items. Let's just pick the character enemies. Here we go. So we pick a zombie. Let's pick a random zombie. Let's pick the death one. Let's pick the raw. And these are the main sprites. And these are... Where's the blue? Where's normal? Here we go. So this. So I will be hand drawing these. You can look online about normal map design. How you do it. These 4 colours. So what have you got? You've got pink. You've got teal. You've got purple, and you've got blue, and then you've got the varying shaded combinations. These control how light interacts with it. Before this, I remember learning bump maps in university, and then normal maps kind of came on the scene. Bump maps were very much like a black and white grayscale way of giving the illusion of depth, and this is a much more brilliant way of doing it. Also, obviously quite trickier, because depending on the colour you select for each bit depends on how the light will react with it. So to make it realistic, you've got to get it on point. So that's just, that's the idle sprites. So idle, and I believe that's blinking. Remember ages ago when I went through that mega branch, where is it? Oh, it feels like a million years ago. Not even that one, because that's NPCs. Is it that one? Enemies. That's it. Enemies and doors. So February. When I went through all those, they all have normals. Nearly every single texture has a normal. So the doors will be like a good. You'll be able to see a good tangible difference, and with like computer monitors, because this doesn't actually. Does it have a normal? Did I call it normal and I never just made it normal? This is such a long time ago, this one doesn't even have a normal map. Okay, so yeah. If I use the right colours for underneath, you see, obviously that'll be a bit darker, won't it? That bit and that bit, but that'll be like real bright, the top. When the light comes on, that'll make it really, really look good, make it look much more realistic. So it's going to take a lot of care and attention, reiteration. Again, version 1.2.3.4. 4 is when it's ready to ship. 1 is prototype, and as you can imagine, going through. Again, I said a few times the version ins, but it's going to be a lot of work for all these different things, because I'm going to do everything. I'm not going to half-ass it either. So that is going to be a task. And with the rest of July, if there's any left, I will do the communication interaction. already discussed that on the last 3. If you look near the end, like usually like the last 20-25% of these videos, you will see me go over about the planned branches. So I won't go over any of these. On the last one, Sarah's bedroom branch, I talked about the next 2 because I always add an extra one usually when I've completed one, as I will do after I've completed this video with this one. Traits will be things you spawn in with, as you would very much expect. Like any other trait, Fallout, zombies in general, like State of Decay 2 with like the curveballs, like zombies suddenly become more resistant to fire or melee, or they're harder to kill. Essentially, they do more damage. They run everywhere. They're really slow. All these things you could factor in as traits, and this is what I'm wanting to do, more or less, with traits. So enemies will have their own traits. You set them on fire, that'll have a fire trait. I probably won't go to that much depth, but like there'll be like an injured, as well as statuses, there'll be traits and they'll interact with it. So for example, if they're a bit like Pokemon, so if you've attacked them with fire, yeah, they'll be injured, but if fire's like a weakness, then that fire weakness trait will control a multiplier for the damage. And again, opposite with weakness, strength. So if they're a bit more impervious to, I don't know, acid, for example, then that interacts with the damage. So that's the whole trait system I want to create. I'm going to create a version 1 of it. I should really just put version 1, which I think I will do after this video. After that will be the intro. So you see here,
v0.2.1.4.24 Changelog intro.
Every time. Text to speech. Alt and P when I'm selecting this makes the robot talk. Alt and P when I'm selecting this makes it play. My own fault. I've done it the last 5 branches. This video, the intro. The intro will be a bit like that, but also have text coming down. So just a bit of a video sequence. Welcome you into the game as you'd expect, rather than just press play and it just dumps you into your bedroom. So there's lots of work to do. It's coming along nicely. You should expect normal maps, or let's see, probably we're talking last week commencing, so 29th, 30th, just so I can hit the target of getting that in July. And I also think 4 weeks should be enough, because I'm not really drawing everything again from my head. I'm just looking at a picture and thinking how light will react. So a couple of days to get best practice in, Google a bit to remember perfectly how to do normal maps, hand painting, and then just blasting through it. Just like this one's kind of alright, but the rest of them aren't. Thank you for your time. This has been a long one, considering it is a very simplistic thing. Hopefully you found it interesting. Certainly the blueprint was nice to make. I will fix this silly initialization bug, I knew I'd do something. And I'll add in the extra branch after this, and I'll just start referencing whether it's version 1, 2, 3 or 4 from now on in the branch names. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you later.